Of course, before that, Chelsea have the small matter of the London derby to get through against Spurs. That's the early game on Saturday morning, going back to Wednesday night. And Spurs' reverse at the hands of RB Leipzig. This is what Jose Mourinho had to say ahead of the trip to Stamford Bridge.
The Chelsea players, they were watching this game on TV. Nice sparkling water with lemon, some biscuits, enjoying the game. And then we played Saturday, 12 o'clock. Thank you so much for the choice. We cannot even sleep well until 10:30 or 11. We have to wake up 7:30 for the game.
The sparkling lemon, the water.
Well, in all fairness, the game was at 7:30, 12:30, or 11:30 at night on Saturday. Harry Kane and Heung-min Son are not going to be fit, so it doesn't change. It doesn't change that. Look, I think Ali touched on it in midweek. He's already painting a picture of where things might go wrong. But the bottom line is Chelsea will play on Wednesday in the Champions League, and then they'll have to play again. I'm not exactly sure when, so it'll come round to them next week. Two teams are under pressure. I think Chelsea are under a little bit more pressure here because Tottenham haven't been great, and people have been talking about Mourinho's team's performances, but people are now talking about Lampard and are this team starting to crumble in terms of getting in the Champions League places?
And one thing they're particularly talking about, Frank Lampard, is his decision in the goalkeeper department. What do you make of it? Still not committing to Kepa and 38-year-old Willy Caballero?
Well, I think at the end of the day, clearly there's a beef with Kepa, but for the sake of getting them in the Champions League next year, with the chasing pack as they are, with Chelsea a little bit vulnerable, you've got to play your best players until you get the job done and then deal with it in the summer.
Yeah, the goalkeeping position is different than others. And when you make this sort of decisions, when you make the decision to remove your goalkeeper, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
It's not like just removing any other player out on the field. And Xhaka would tell you the same thing, is that your number one is your number one. And he is the point of reference for everybody else on that team. So it doesn't quite work out when Lampard said, like, well, everybody's evaluated right now, and if you're not doing the job, you sit on the bench. It's not quite the case with the goalkeeper. It's not as straightforward as that. And certainly when you have spent the sort of money that you have spent in order to bring this guy in. And so while we would like to think that, the coach is well within his right to make whatever choice he wants to make, I think there's more to it. And when you really look deep into it, you also have to analyze the fact that the second option, Willy Caballero, is not good. It's not a good option. And as bad as Kepa has been, you have to say, man, if it is between Caballero and Kepa, you take Kepa, you ride him as far as you possibly can, and you hope that that's enough to get you in the top four.
So what do the odds makers make of the London derby? Well, they have Chelsea as firm favourites to win at Stamford Bridge. Spurs have only won there once in the last 33 trips. You were involved in a few of those back in the day, Greg. How do you see this? Because the two teams who really need it, only separated by a point now.
Well, I suppose if Abraham's fit, that's a boost for Lampard. I see it as Chelsea dominating the game again, because it's something we've touched on in the show, is injuries or not, and people keep saying to me, Tottenham haven't got the strikers. That's fine, I understand that, and that's a problem in the final third. However, that doesn't mean you have to shell the ball 50, 60 yards. That doesn't mean you can't create a bit of possession and passing to try and get in the final third, and Tottenham rarely have done that with any quality. I think Chelsea will do that, they'll dominate the game, and it'll come down to the fact whether they can put the ball in the back of the net whilst they have the bulk of possession. That's been their big issue.
Who wins, Ali?
This is shaping up to be a Mourinho special.
0-0.
Oh, okay.
It is a frustrating, I would say, midday affair for Chelsea, and one where Spurs look a lot like Mourinho, and difficult to see how Chelsea breaks through. I actually think Spurs may win this.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.